Grand Rapids, Michigan is known as River City. It sits on the Grand River. Just a few minutes from downtown is Wyoming, Michigan. And from the Spectrum Entertainment Complex, we bring you the 2021 ISC Intercollegiate Singles Men's Bowling Championship. 4 bowlers are here, but only one can take home the title. Checking the BPAA road to the finals in match 1, Pete Virgos of Calumet College of St. Joseph near Chicago goes head-to-head with two-handed lefty Jordan Monitz of St. Ambrose, a program located in Davenport, Iowa. Then in match 2, Alec Keplinger of Wichita State will take on Drew Sachs of Lindenwood University, a powerhouse program from St. Charles, Missouri, outside St. Louis. It's a one-game match format. Hello, college bowling fans, and welcome to Wyoming, Michigan. It's great to have you with us for the ISC Singles Championship here on CBS Sports Network. Dave Ryan, alongside the Hall of Famer, Kelly Kulick. Well, Kelly, we said it a moment ago, 4 bowlers are here, but only one can realize the ultimate dream of becoming a national champion today.
Yeah, Dave, these young men have waited a long time to get to this scene right now, and today some dreams are going to come true for one gentleman.
So 4 bowlers in the show, Kel, and 2 are two-handed lefties, 2 are one-handed righties. How will that affect play here today?
You know, the gentleman bowled on the other side of the house. We have some new pins back in the racks. It's going to be as fair can be. I think the young man that makes the moves the quickest by watching the ball roll as it exits the pins will have an advantage. All of them are basically throwing urethane, so the lanes are going to break down very, very similar over time, and we're going to crown one champion overall.
So glad to have the ISC back in 2021. We can't wait for college bowling here on CBS Sports Network. 4 great bowlers are here from 4 great bowling programs. But in the end, only one can raise the trophy as national champion in 2021. To go, Kelly had a chance to speak with our first 2 semifinalists.
Jordan, welcome back to bowling. First one kicking off the show today. Two-handed style lefty. There's 2 of you on the show. What is your advantage, and how are you going to attack the lanes?
I think the advantage is just being able to break down the lanes a little bit more. And I plan to throw the purple hammer and just strike a lot and hopefully keep it clean.
Pete Virgos goes by the nickname Petey, Junior Team USA member. Petey, you had the highest average of all the qualifiers at 220. What is your confidence level like, and how will that help you in today's matches?
I believe I'm going to stay neutral through the whole entire process. Even though I may be high average, I know it's a whole new tournament in itself being under the lights. So I'm just going to take it one shot at a time, and hopefully it works out for me.
From St. Ambrose University, Jordan Monitz.
Tie to bowl in Wyoming, Michigan, outside Grand Rapids. Great to have the ISC Singles Championship back. This event was scheduled for this center in 2020, but wiped out by COVID. Thrilled to return in 2021. Jordan gets us started from just outside Minneapolis. Two-handed lefty. Oh, yeah.
I've waited a long time to say 10 straight back in the pit.
It sounds great, Kelly.
From Calumet College of St. Joseph, Petey Virgos.
Calumet College, located in Whiting, Indiana. It's not far from Chicago. Right on Lake Michigan, south of the Windy City. Small school. Excellent school. And here's Pete Virgos. Pete's from Apopka, Florida, just outside Orlando. Gets started right lane. Nice start. Crunches the 1-3 pocket. All right, Kelly, let's take a look at our future for the sport oil pattern here today.
These men are bowling on a 39-foot pattern, high volume, but again, low scoring pace. And what that means is a ratio of 1.6 to 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's going to be a 9.5. If they start out with urethane, they're going to be somewhere around the track area, about 8, 9, 10. If the guys are going to hook it, they're going to be left to right, coast to coast. And we have 2 lefties on the show, of course. They're going to try to do the same thing on the right side. So all this in the middle is open up for all that transition and anywhere to make those moves to keep up with the scoring pace, Dave.
Nice trip 10 for Pete. And a really nice start here for both. I don't think nerves are a factor at all. Kelly at least threw a couple shots here. Pete's done a lot of work with bowling analyst Randy Peterson in the Orlando area over the years. Know each other well.
A few text messages were exchanged.
Yeah,
when
just a couple.
he realized he made the semifinals.
There's Jordan's average 12 games to get to this point. Trying to keep us perfect. It's a one-game match. Win and move on. Lose and go home. The two-handed lefty is locked into the 1-2 pocket.
Interesting to see the left-handers are playing a bit more straighter through the front. Petey did describe that he was able to stay further to the right as competition went on. But again, some drastic changes, seeing the lanes have higher friction, playing much deeper than I think he anticipated.
The tall, lanky lefty on the left lane misses the pocket this time, and a 1-3 stands for him.
Yeah, swing and a miss. The pattern itself, 39 feet. So those hash marks that you see at the end, the ball should be roughly or just to the outside of that, but look how extremely to about the 3 board. Ball fades away, never gets back to the 1-2 pocket.
So our first miss of the match early here in our first semifinal. See Eric Littig in the background, the St. Ambrose head coach, due to safety reasons here in Wyoming. Of course, the bowlers have masks. Coaches are off the set a bit. Covers nicely.
Somewhere in the background, his teammates are cheering him on from a distance.
Somewhere in the background. In a side room here at Spectrum, historic bowling center, which has expanded since I've been here some 16 years ago. Place is huge. It's just awesome now.
Much history in this center, both the PBA and then the ladies PBA series was here many, many years ago. Some victories along the way.
A super bowling town in western Michigan. Pete steps up, looking good.
Wow, I love his path to the pocket right now. It's got great shape, great motion, just smooth transition from front to back. Right now making the pattern look fairly simple. On a level of 1 to 10, Nick Hoagland said it was about a 9. Really gets his feet moving. About 19, 18 at the arrows. Again, the break point roughly about board 8, just to the right of that last hash marker, about 43 feet. And the ball just shapes so smoothly, splits the 8-9 as it rolls off the pin deck.
Perfect ball reaction there for Pete.
So far.
He's off to a great start. Looks for the front 4, has it. He is absolutely crushing the rack right now. Those pins have no chance. And what a look early through 4 for Pete Virgos from Calumet College outside Chicago.
Big first 2 steps. Kicks the trail leg up in the air, but again, gets all of his energy and power from the movement of his legs at that quick tempo pace.
Road to the finals. Letter for Jordan, brought to us by BPAA. A couple of big wins for a player who's not on the team active roster for St. Ambrose. That's how good St. Ambrose is. The guy making the ISC singles show is not an active part of the team right now.
I like Jordan's mantra, just strike a lot.
Keep it simple, right?
Head pin goes to the right. Never, 3 pin does not quite slide into that 6 pin to take it out. Single pin spare leave.
He's been on the JV side most of the year for St. Ambrose. Kind of like the 9th man. He is seen plenty of action on the team side, but basically an extra coach on the lanes. Been a really good leader for a young guy. Single pin, spare conversion for Jordan.
Gives himself the tap on the shoulder, remind himself what a good spare that was. These young men, the rules of this championship, again, only 5 bowling balls within their arsenal that they can bring. I think Jordan selected at least 2 urethane balls and a plastic ball for spare, so that leaves only 2 more left to choose from. But again, he made the singles pattern look somewhat easy and was just able to chase it right the entire time.
Sophomore graphic design major. Would like to run his own advertising company one day, he told us. Started off his bowling career as a one-hander, but just couldn't get the ball to strike. So decided that two hands better than one. And here he is on the show. Been a great run for him. Left lane. This is the pocket. Another single pin spare conversion attempt on the way.
Last time, way left. Down at the breakpoint area, sliding about 20, about 6-7 at the arrows. Urethane does not have a strong recovery point. It made to read earlier in the front portion of the lane. Just slow to response, almost leaves the bucket. But again, the single pin spare for the 6-pin lead.
However, when you're going head-to-head with a guy who's got the front four, strikes become crucial. A one-game match. Monens. Oh, that's a bad whiff. Misses the 6-pin. Open frame, and that hurts.
An air of relief for Petey, possibly.
It's got to feel good, right, on the bench to your opponent miss. And there's a big opening. You're locked into the 1-3 pocket. You see the BPAA road to the finals for Pete.
218 average. Thought he was about 220, but again, 686, 653. Really high scores, again, on a difficult pattern.
Look down, but a good look with the result. Maybe some issues with the footwork there. On the way to the foul line.
Yeah, Petey's got a lot of energy. Again, first two steps are really large, generates a lot of speed. Goes to slide, pops up at the foul line. Really needs that braking motion from the heel and the sole to stop as the swing comes forward. As long as the ball is on path, on target, it's not how you finish, it's how many pins you knock down.
He's got the front five here, though. It's going pretty well for him early. He prefers Petey, but Petey. I call him awesome right now with the front five. Senior business major. Left lane, trying to stay perfect. How about a Brooklyn strike for the front six? Next stop, Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Yeah, just didn't quite project the ball off his hand to the right side. Just inside the break point. Nick Hoagland said it best, you really can't miss. When you have both sides of the pockets, you're in the right part of the lane, I would think. So you want to have either recovery if you miss outward, or you want to have hold when you miss inward, or the next best thing, cross over and carry the Brooklyn.
So Jordan's in a heap of trouble now. Pete, the front six.
Yeah, 11 at the arrows, much better shot. Seems to be much more control of the right lane. Still having issues with the left.
Usually, Kel, we haven't done TV in a couple of years, but at this point we'd be taking a commercial break. But because Pete has the 300 game possibly going halfway home, we're going to stick with this opening match. You can't break up a 300, right, with TV commercials.
No, you cannot.
Jordan's not thinking about that. He's just trying to get back in the match here at the midway point. It's certainly not over yet, but he's got a lot of work to do. Really enjoyed spending time with these guys yesterday, Kel. He's an avid disc golfer.
Yes.
It's his second sport. He said he might be better at it than bowling, which is hard to believe. Needs to get on a bunch of strikes here.
Shaker 10 pin.
Did you know more than 85,000 kids bowl in high school, but only 4,000 of them can find college programs? Collegiate bowling is growing fast, but there's still work to be done. To learn how to start a program at your college, please visit bowl.com/collegiate. It's Jordan's first appearance ever on TV. Gotta have this. Does convert the 10 pin. First time they've gone head to head with each other. Jordan did say he really admired Pete's game from watching him. And Pete has delivered with perfection halfway home.
Pete is so versatile. I mean, he can really play anywhere on the lane, from the 2 board to the 30 board. can go at it straight. He can hook the lane from coast to coast, which is his comfort zone. I think he's in his comfort zone right now.
Looking for the front 7. Has it! Crunching 10 into the pit. Those pins had no chance, just shrapnel remains.
About 3-4 feet past the end of the pattern.
Looking for the front 8. Looking to stay perfect. Left lane, not this time. Missed the pocket. And the 2-4 stand there for Pete, but tremendous run with the front 7. And a big lead in the first semifinal.
Yeah, this time definitely projects the ball further down the lane. It's about 2 or 3 right of where he was, almost off the 2-4-10.
Has the mark, takes care of business, has his spare. And now we'll take that commercial break we talked about, because the perfect game, not this time, for Pete Burgos of Calumet College. From Whiting, Indiana, he's got a big lead on Jordan Monens here today. Pete Burgos, Calumet College, from just outside Chicago. Huge lead. End of game 1. Head-to-head with Jordan Monens from St. Ambrose of Davenport, Iowa. As the ISC Intercollegiate Singles Championship is back. Monens head-to-head with Pete Burgos, who had the front 7, helping him to this huge lead, hoping for the championship match. Alec Keplinger, Drew Sachs. The next semifinal here in Wyoming, Michigan. Dave Ryan alongside the Hall of Famer Kelly Kulick. Great to have you with us for college bowling here on CBS Sports Network.
It's great to be back.
Fantastic. 8-pin there for Monens.
This was his good lane all along, too. But the good thing is, you know, Jordan, very young man, only a sophomore. He's got some two more opportunities to come back in this position and be in the spotlight again.
No question. Great experience. Soft-spoken young man. Didn't really want to talk about himself very much when we interviewed him here yesterday in Wyoming, Michigan. He got going with bowling very young. Dad took him to his Sunday league back home in the Twin Cities area. Fell in love with bowling. A little more on St. Ambrose from Davenport, Iowa. Founded in 1882, small enrollment. I love the nickname, Kel. It's one of my favorites of all the sports that we cover. Fighting Bees. Fantastic. I don't think there is another team nationally, any division, of Fighting Bees.
Does that mean they're sweet as honey along the way?
I mean, Georgia Tech is the Yellow Jackets, but that's not the same.
Not the same.
Not Fighting Bees. Original. And in my mind, awesome. I'm a big nickname guy. 9th frame. Foundation frame here for Jordan. Pretty good looking shot, but 7-pin stands.
Just didn't quite get the carry that he was looking for. You know, you'd think straighter would be greater sometimes, and it mostly is. Really keeping a straighter path to the pocket. Urethane just deflects so much. Just not enough to roll through the pocket and carry out that 7.
You told us he's learned so much at St. Ambrose with the physical and mental game. And most of all, not that he would freak out, because he's pretty mellow dude. I mean, yesterday, but he said in bad spots, I've just got to stay calm. This is one of those. Misses the 7-pin there. And this one's over for Pete Burgos of Calumet College. He's going to advance to the championship match. Good run for Jordan Monens from St. Ambrose of Davenport, Iowa. But the man of the moment is Pete Burgos, Calumet College, outside Chicago. He'll bowl in the championship match, trying to win the title in 2021. More on the way. Checking the BPAA road to the finals. Pete Virgo's front 7, 8 strikes in all, 254-192 win over Jordan Monens to advance to the championship match. Alec Keplinger, Drew Sachs, the next semifinalist, set to go head-to-head here in Wyoming, Michigan. And moments ago, Kelly spoke with the competitors.
Andrew Sachs, welcome back to bowling. Two-handed left-handed bowlers on the show today. Do you think that's going to be an advantage, and how will you attack the lanes?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be an advantage, especially going second, because throughout the practice sessions, we were able to kind of shim them up for ourselves with the urethane. I think that's just going to create a little hold down lane for me, so I think I'm looking forward to going second today.
Alec Keplinger, welcome to the semifinal match. Sandra Jo Shirey is your mother, Hall of Famer, professional bowler in the past. What type of advice did she give you going into these matches this morning?
Just stay mentally strong and just take one shot at a time, and just know that whatever happens, happens, and just enjoy the moment.
They're going for this trophy here in Wyoming, Michigan, just outside Grand Rapids. And a watch as well in the honor of being the ISC singles champion in 2021. Keplinger and Sachs set to go head-to-head in our second semifinal.
From Lindenwood University, Andrew Sachs.
Lindenwood Lions, as we talked about, top of the broadcast, St. Charles, Missouri. It's northwest of St. Louis. An enrollment of 9,000. He's from Vandalia, Ohio, outside Dayton. And the sophomore. Two-handed lefty gets our second semifinal underway. That had a hurry to the 1-2 pocket. And a split early with the 3-7 challenging.
You could say that again, Dave. Watch right here. Sliding about 17, 18. Wow, 9 at the arrows all the way out to the 2-3 board. Not enough time for the ball to get back to the pocket, hence leaving the 3-7 split. Andrew talked about that shim. So there's enough friction to the left, but trying to play the oil line more straight or through the front part of the lane. Wide left that time. Can he convert?
Tough split cannot leave the 7 early open. At least it's in the first frame for Andrew. That's the good news, and otherwise tough start. It's got to be hard emotionally under the TV lights.
From Wichita State University, Alec Keplinger.
Famous mom, 9-time PWBA Tour champion, a major champion as well. So cool to hear about Sandra Jo Shirey from son Alec. He's from Coldwater, Michigan, a couple hours south of where we are here in the Grand Rapids area. And you know, mom's watching every move. This is big. Right lane for Alec gets started. Oh, avoids the split. Could have been much worse, just leads the 10 pin.
Yeah, interesting match here. So as I'm thinking to myself, you know, Alec being the bowler, what would I do? Okay, playing straighter, 9, 8 at the break point, more up the back of the ball. When you're more up the back of the ball, you control the end of the pattern, so it's more smoother in transition. But he got to watch Petey play deeper inside, so I'm wondering if he's questioning, do I play straight, which worked all week, or do I need to move deep inside where it was successful for Petey?
Ten-pin got that. Wichita State well represented this year between the singles and team after a bit of hiatus, winning titles. Tremendous history with that program. Last ISC singles champ. You might have heard of this guy, 2014 Francois Lavoie for Wichita State.
The history from that program and how many celebrities they have created in the bowling industry. It is a bowling college of all-stars, simply put.
Frankie and Packy Henrahan, another former Wichita State star, still live in Wichita, and they interact with the players, practice with them, do a lot of help and coaching with those guys. Imagine having those alums around on a regular basis. Pretty cool. Left lane, really nice shot for Alec. Locked in.
Quick lead right now in 2 frames. Now, just as I said, it was an advantage for Alec to watch the ball go down the lane. You know, what is going through Andrew's mind right now, knowing what Jordan's reaction was with the urethane on the left side of the lane. He's trying to create his own shape, his own motion, get some good reads, some good information he can process and make a decision on what his moves are going to be. I said in the opening, the gentleman that moves the fastest will be the most successful.
Here we go. Such a key. Andrew's never been on TV, so it's a big challenge. Make those adjustments. This is the pocket again, unfortunately for him. Leaves the 4-7 on the right lane.
We have another two-handed style here with Andrew. Big keys in two-handed style is how much waist bend when the ball's in the swing, where the elbow is at the height of the swing, and then as close to the ankle, the trail leg is really far behind. The back angle is about 75 degrees or more. Creates maximum power because of the speed of the legs, and some of the two-handers you see have that hop in their approach.
4-7 got that big mark early. In a one-game match, you just can't afford to fall behind by too many pins, especially with Keplinger looking through a couple frames locked in. Andrew, great bowling family. Parents, Steve and Ellen, both the University of Dayton. Brother Eric also bowled for Lindenwood. Brother Paul for Pikeville. And sister Jessica bowls for Duquesne in Pittsburgh. How about that?
Who's your favorite mascot then?
Of those.
That's a lot to choose from.
Right. Duquesne Dukes are pretty cool. Left lane. Andrew needs it.
Light shaker leaves the 3-pin. Andrew said his asset was being able to go up the back of the ball even more, so the heeled hand is like picture Spider-Man, Dave, kind of pushing that heel forward. Ball rolls more end over end, creates more predictable reaction. But look again, extreme out here. This is where Jordan was having that trouble. Not enough time. The lane is 60 feet. You're at 43 feet there. Only 17 more feet to go before you can get back to the pocket. He talked about squaring up his angles, and I think right now he needs to do that. Try to keep it more in front of him and not give up or give away the pocket as much. Makes the 3-pin spare. Still early in the match.
Hoping to become the first ISC singles champion from Lindenwood since Brian Valenta in 2006. Andrew's the first Lindenwood bowler to make the TV show in 4 years. Alec was pretty excited in our meeting with him yesterday, Kel, about the return of Wichita State bowling to the national stage. There's a feeling of ownership with their incredible tradition there. Right lane, Keplinger. That's a little high, but he'll take it.
Trips the 4-pin.
Left lane, got to really hurry.
Wow, Dave. That's the only word I can use to describe
Flirting
that
with disaster along the channel there.
Trips the 4-pin on the right lane, keeps it in front of him, gets a little wide right, I should say a lot. Look at that path. Now, we've been saying the break point's been 5 boards inward where it was. He's all the way on the extreme outside 3 board, trying to get the ball back to the pocket. That high rev rate, the flare potential in the ball, catches the shaker strike. That's when your swing gets even looser.
Everyone here trying for a national championship today in Wyoming, Michigan. Back to the Intercollegiate Singles Championships. I'm Dave Ryan alongside Kelly Kulick. Let's get back to the lanes for more action.
Not so lucky that time, light 2-pin. I think he's kind of seeing the reaction in both lanes. One play is playing more friction, hooking a little bit more. That would be the left lane. Right lane right there, you can see his trajectory point. Again, way far right down the lane here. He had that recovery the last time on the left lane, but I don't think it quite developed so much on the right lane. Same pair, different reactions. Again, 2 styles of bowling balls. Pete used the reactive resin, Alec using urethane.
Two-pin has his single-pin spare conversion and the mark.
so much information every time the ball goes down the lane. It's removing oil, and it's giving you more information to process.
.310 baby split this time. Junior gold champion 2019.
The area of the lane he's playing in right now, again, just in qualifying, it's something he might have seen. But after that last hit, missing that far outside, I would go left, get my hand wrapped around a little more, and try to use that recovery as an advantage.
Speaking of advantages, what would having Sandra Jo Shari, a 9-time PWBA champ, USBC Queens champ, 1997, be for a young bowler growing up?
When you got bowling in your blood, you can talk the language. You can share the language with your coach, with your spouse, or your mom or dad.
Pretty awesome connection there. Let's check the Bowl TV highlight of the week for the men's singles. Alex started off qualifying with a bang, throwing the front 9 of his game before a pesky 10-pin stopped his bid for a 300. Looking good. His opening 279 propelled him to the #1 seed for the bracket. Defeated 2 opponents to earn his spot in the semifinals here today. It's a great run for Alec Keplinger from Wichita State. Rick Steele-Smith, his head coach and longtime PBA Tour star. Pretty great to get advice from a guy like that.
It's the Wichita DNA.
I'm telling you, what a tradition that program has had for so many years now.
I do see Andrew made a ball change right now.
Needs to change this match around quickly. There's a late trip 6-pin. We need a lot of those to get back in this one right now.
So interesting change here. Looks like he's playing a bit straighter through the front part of the lane. Went from one urethane bowling ball to another. Not quite as much flare potential. Seems to be square through the front. See if he can control that 1-2 pocket.
Sophomore marketing major at Lindenwood, St. Charles, Missouri, outside St. Louis. Love to stay in the bowling industry. Possibly compete on tour and work in the field. Looking for a double. Has it. On track.
Smart ball change. I knew something had to change differently. Either move left and go straighter, or move right and start hooking the lane a bit more. Sliding up again a bit further to the left now. Straighter attack path to the pocket. Still alive in this match.
Been a really good year for Alec. One match away from the championship to take on Pete Virgos. Right lane, Keplinger, you bet. Crunches the 1-3 pocket, labels that ball for a big strike.
Just watching Alex set up, it seemed like the push of the ball was lined up a bit outside of his shoulder. So interesting enough, he said when you go to Wichita, you have some tools in your toolbox. When you graduate from Wichita State, you have a full toolbox to walk away with. So you start with a hammer, a wrench. Next thing you know, you got 30 tools in your bag.
I like that. That's a good analogy. More tools the better, right?
Sometimes.
Upgrade to a chest, you know, that was huge. See at the hardware stores.
Knowing the right one to use at the right time.
You know what to use, though, with tools. I sure don't. Don't ask me to fix anything, ever.
Only because of Google.
Left lane, Keplinger feeling it now. And Drew Sachs had the double to put a little pressure on Alec, who's responded beautifully with a double of his own.
Max scores there, 257 for Alec, 221. Big advantage right now.
Well, Drew Sachs told us yesterday he wasn't afraid to make ball changes and strategic adjustments. Now's the time. Right lane, two-handed lefty, and a big strike. Turkey for Sachs, Kelly, to get back in this match.
right, so we see the two comparisons. Really way left, board 4, light through the pocket. As we come back and we advance, we make a ball change up into the 7th frame. So you can see the ball was further inside. The other one was way much further outside. Seems to get square up. Can he catch the 4 back?
No.
High through the face. I'm just wondering, again, watching the young men practice during that 15-20 minute warm-up, I saw the right-handers use a lot of reactive resin with surface to create that friction. The two-handed left-handers really only used it for a few moments and went right to the urethane bowling balls, which has a projection of carrying a bit of oil down the lane. Hence why all the different angles and reactions we're seeing.
2, 4, 6, 10. Lot to cover here. Really difficult split. Can't do it. Open frame so late. That is damaging in the foundation frame for Sachs. And Keplinger now sees the lead expand to 54 pins. He's in great shape, working on a double himself. Little mini run there, Kelly, for Drew in the Turkey 7th, the 6th through the 8th.
Yeah, he made the right ball change. Unfortunately, it was about 2 frames too late.
Flirting with the channel. Wow. Really light. 1, 2, 4 right down the line. As Keplinger misses the target, but still has a huge lead here.
Yeah, and I would go back, now he has the match in hand. He can experiment a little bit again. Pete was using the reactive resin, playing much deeper inside. He has the recovery on the left lane, but not so much on the right lane. Really flirting with disaster here. He has to keep the ball somewhere here. And for me, what I'm guessing, he does have to creep his feet further left inside at a deeper angle, maybe through about 12, 13 at the arrows, and control the break point in the back part.
Oh, congrats to her, 2021 USBC Hall of Fame inductee. So the greatness in that family continues, and continues on the lanes here today for Alec in Wyoming, Michigan. He's knocked off Drew Sachs of Lindenwood to advance to the championship match. He'll take on Pete Burgos, Calumet College of St. Joseph outside Chicago. One bowler wins a national championship here today. Our BPAA road to the finals. ISC championship match. Pete Burgos, fantastic in his semifinal. Front 7 at 8 strikes. A 254-192 win over Jordan Monens from St. Ambrose of Davenport, Iowa. Alec Keplinger, Wichita State, grinding out a 212-183 win over Drew Sachs from Lindenwood. Setting up the championship, Burgos and Keplinger head-to-head. Moments ago, Kelly Kulick spoke with the finalists.
Petey, you are great friends with fellow Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. In a phone conversation you had with him last night, what words of wisdom would he tell you to do right now going into this championship match?
Just seize the moment. Under the bright lights, it could go by so quickly, and we tend to lose sight of that. I just want to take it one frame at a time and execute to the best possibility I can.
Alec Keplinger, okay, welcome into this final match. What is your strategy? I noticed you were trying to play much straighter to the right, but finishing off, playing deeper inside, watching where Petey played, is that going to be your strategy going into this final match?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm going to stay out in the gutter. I feel comfortable there, not giving away the pocket too much, and I think I can make my spares from there. If I have to, though, I'll jump in, and I think I have a pretty good look there, and I feel confident in it.
All right, Kelly, thanks. The finalists, Burgos, Keplinger, are ready. And so are we to crown a champion next from Wyoming, Michigan. One bowler will win the national championship in 2021. Time to bowl. From Wyoming, Michigan, here on CBS Sports Network, Keplinger and Burgos head-to-head the championship match. 2021 ISC singles. One bowler in this one-game match will take home a national championship. Dave Brian, Kelly Kulick, our entire crew here in Western Michigan. Burgos, we'll see if he used that Randy Peterson advice to his advantage. Really bowled well, Kelly, in his first match.
Yeah, great first game score of 250 plus. He will kick off the match, so he's going to have to finish it in the 10th frame on the right lane.
Starts on the left lane. 4-pin.
Much deeper from where he finished in the first semifinal match. He loves going coast to coast. His words exactly. So right now he is in his A game and in his comfort zone.
Pete told us a story when he was 6 years old, had a very serious medical condition that required doctors to insert a plate in his head, and that in turn prohibited him from any kind of contact sports. There's a 4-pin, there's his mark, so he gravitated to bowling. It was a very serious, life-threatening condition. Thankfully he's fine now, but it's scary for he and his family growing up.
Yeah, and my experience with him too, he was a stocky young man, so his health is great.
We talked about the weight loss, 100 pounds, that's impressive.
I called him, like a big humble gorilla when I got to work with him on Junior Team USA.
I got you.
Yeah.
And now he's just humble.
Yep, just humble.
The pandemic hair growth is pretty spectacular. That's quite a salad he's got going.
Okay, so look where Alec is standing. He's already far left, so his strategy has changed. He was going to play straight, but I think he saw the look that Petey had. He's going deep inside.
Interesting. 3-pin? Does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't really, because his reaction early on with urethane did not look that good. I really thought in the left lane when he missed right and the ball came screaming back would be a good indication of, say, hey, I can use that as recovery. Now he's standing about 30, 35 area. Sliding probably somewhere in that same distance. We got the dots at the foul line, sliding 33, 34, 22 at the arrows. Again, now the break point's over here, so he still has to get the steepness through the front part of the lane to get it that way. A few ways you can create hold, Dave. I mean, shinier equipment, you know, higher RG bowling balls, which he went to. Steeper angles through the front to create the ball to hold longer. He has a longer distance to the pocket when he's playing that deep inside in, so the steeper angle is going to give that hold and control to get back to the 1-3.
The Junior Gold Championships will take place July 5th through the 17th in Indianapolis, Indiana. This elite event features the top youth bowlers in the country competing for over $300,000 in scholarships in 8 age-based divisions and a chance to bowl on Junior Team USA. Visit bowl.com/juniorgold for information. Keplinger's win over Sachs in the semifinals set a turkey in frames 2 through 4 and 6 for the match. You can see the breakdown left lane, right lane for Alec. Able to grind out a slugfest win in the semis. High shot, 3-pin.
Has to create more hold. Sliding again, about 35. Still not enough hold, still not enough hold. So that means, again, giant step left. Create that steepness through the front. Maybe a deeper focal point. What I mean by a focal point, I'd be looking almost at like the 7-pin on the next lane over to try to extend the ball through the front part of the lane. Easy spare conversion.
Not hitting the pocket, so with the Hall of Famer Rick Steelsmith as coach, behind him advising every move, clearly adjustments have to be made to try to get to that 1-3 pocket more effectively and start striking.
I kind of wonder what's going through his mind, because he was going to play straighter, then he started off inward. Is he going to jump back to the right? Is he just going to keep chasing it left? If you chase it left, you know you're going to only move one direction. I would keep going inward.
Let's see if he listens to the Hall of Famers' advice here in the booth. Well, we've got a couple Hall of Famers helping him out here. Right lane, Pete.
Oh.
Gets the trip 4-pin. Nice break, big strike.
Yeah, and the difference in the two bowlers is just their axis, the rotation off their hand. Alex seems to be a lot more aggressive at the bottom of the swing. Petey seems to create a little bit more tilt as the ball goes down the lane, creating more skid. And you can see the ball still continuing towards the 8-pin off the back of the pin deck. Nice shape, nice reaction. These are the breaks you need when you're playing that deep inside and you're in the championship match.
1-pin lead. Early going championship match. Here in Wyoming, Michigan, outside Grand Rapids. Here goes for an 11-pin lead. Gets it.
Fantastic double right there for Petey. Again, the difference is how the ball is rotating off his hand at the bottom of the swing. Both bowlers are sliding at the same part of the lane, 35. You could see where he started earlier was about 18, 19, 20 at the arrows. Now he's all the way into the 5th arrow. Finding that tracer from 40 to 43 feet down the lane around board 8. Controlling the 1-3 pocket.
Keplinger responds. Got to really hurry. That just completely misses the mark again. Wow. 1, 2, 6, 8, 10. Way light.
Watch right here. He accelerates at the bottom of the swing. Through the arrows, 19. Again, as the red line is going down the lane, that's the danger zone. That is the danger zone. The hash marker is 40 to 43 feet, so the end of the pattern's 39. It's got to be in that 42 range, just to the outside of it.
Lots of cover here. Cannot. Yes, he can. How about the trip 6 at the end? And a huge spare and pickup for Alec Keplinger. I didn't think that had a chance, Kelly.
There's going to be an asterisk next to this spare, Dave. From the back. Kicks off the backboard.
Just enough.
Just enough for the 10 to come forward.
Timber. Just enough. Wow.
Hey, as long as you can make what you leave, it doesn't matter.
Mark that one down. 3rd frame, pickup.
5 spare.
Huge.
Half and half.
That's right. All right, let's see what move he makes here. Left lane. For the right, not much though. Stay away there. Kelly just cannot find the 1-3 pocket.
Yeah, I think now, remember I talked about those tools earlier. I think he's kind of going through his toolbox and not really sure. Again, because of his rev rate, I believe is higher than Petey's. He's got to find a way to get deeper inside, not get it too far right down the lane to create that hold.
Three, 4, 6, 7, 10. To pick up. Can't do it. Not this time.
Here's my thinking, though, Dave. You know, when you're playing that deep inside, why would you want to ball up? I'm thinking maybe he should go to something more aggressive in his bag, something that's going to slow down the mid lane so it's not so much recovery in the back. Give him that earlier shape, and then play with the tools in his toolbox with his hand position maybe to create that hold and controlling that 1-3 pocket. That's what I would be doing next.
Well, Pete Vergos on the bench is in a tremendous spot here. 4th frame, looks for the turkey, looks for a 44-pin lead. See his season average and event finishes this year. It's all about the national championship today. Perfect shot. Crunches the 1-3 pocket, all 10 down and a 44-pin lead for Vergos. That is answering the call, Kelly.
Yeah, I said he hopped right back in place where he finished off the first match. He's got great eyes on the lane condition right now.
Went with front 7 in his first match with Jordan Monens. Blew him out 254-192 in the first semi.
Currently on that 290 pace.
Just go up by 44. No help this time on the 10-pin.
He actually moved it. Did you see the pin spin back in
A
there?
little bit.
Yeah.
Little bump, not enough.
Yeah, watch right here. Sliding again, 36, 37, 24 at the arrows. Ball deflects just slightly. 6-pin slides in front.
Turned it slightly.
Turned it slightly, faced up.
Whoa. And just when things were going so well for Pete Vergos, he misses the 10-pin. It's an open frame. And heading into his 5th frame now, Keplinger's got a nice opportunity get right back in this. We'll be back with more action from the Intercollegiate Singles Championships. With a spot in the Intercollegiate Singles Championships on the line, we move ahead to the 6th frame. Pete Burgos, Calumet College, a lead on Alec Keplinger of Wichita State. Championship match here from Wyoming, Michigan. 21 pins, halfway home. Winner takes home the national championship. Time for the USBC Collegiate moment of the match. Pretty fun to watch this one, Cal. Tough pickup, to say the least, on that spare.
And there's nowhere in the manual where that's makeable like that.
Probability is low for Alec Keplinger of Wichita State, but got the job done there. And that was huge because now the double has made it a match. At the midway point, 21 pin lead, but an open frame for Burgos. Really his first issue. First open of significance in this show. Right lane, gotta hurry. 2 pin.
Same part of the lane. Looks like he missed at the bottom swing just a little bit more. Watch here his release at the bottom of the swing. Just kind of floats it through a little bit more off his hand to the right, further down the lane. Remember, when the ball hits the lane, it's slowing down automatically. The gentlemen are bowling on current, which is a very high viscosity oil. It does make the ball slow down very, very soon when it hits the lane.
2 pin has the spare. But Keplinger inches closer on count now with a spare off of the open. And he can go for the turkey and 4-bagger coming up. Get right back in this when he steps up.
That missed spare, that missed 10 pin, and that frame really brought things a lot closer together.
Mike Kabacki is head coach. Watches closely, a USBC Hall of Fame inductee from the state of Indiana in 2020. He has led the Calumet program since 2006. Left lane, that's crossing over, almost a Brooklyn strike, but a 6-10 stands now for Pete. And the lane's transition, his look has altered dramatically here. We have got quite a match shaping up.
Yeah, I really lost some momentum from that one frame. Really drifts far left, sliding almost 40, 25 at the arrows. Not quite right down the lane. Again, the further left you move, the longer you make the lane. Have to find a way to project it down, using a stronger ball in his arsenal of the 5 balls that he was allowed to bring. Just checking his ball chart, so possibly a switch along the way, or he's just going to keep chasing it deeper and deeper inside.
Calumet Crimson Wave program, 1.13 straight ITC postseason appearances, longest streak of any program in the nation at the time. We were 2010 national runner-up on the team side. This is the ISC Singles Championship, and Burgos and his coach confer on what the strategy is in the last half of the match. Up steps Keplinger, looking for the turkey. Down by 9, can take the lead. Stepping up here, but that's way high, and he misses the mark again on the right lane.
After watching the men again use the higher surface to the right, they're really, because there's only 4 of them on a pair, 2 of them being lefties, so the 2 right-handers must build some type of friction spot to the right. When there's not enough hold to the left inside of them, again, that's what makes this pattern so challenging and so difficult. It's like threading a needle, basically. Tough spare to make with that sleeper 9 pin in the back. Hard and straight. Carry all 4 pins.
3, 6, 9, 10, needs it. Can't get it this time. Kelly predicted it perfectly. The sleeper 9 stands. Open frame, very damaging for Keplinger on a shot.
Yeah,
These
with
2
the
frames
spare,
to take a lead.
you have to hit the 3 pin really more directly on the center of that pin in order for it to push back and kick out that sleeper pin of the 9.
So back and forth we go here, Kelly.
Yeah.
Like Keplinger had the door open for a nice comeback. Very challenging conditions here in Wyoming, and they're taking a toll now. Way off target.
The mark.
Way off target.
Yeah. It's so hard, Dave. Like you said, 10 frames, one game. Watch here. Way with the launch angle, meaning how far the ball is separated from the ankle and the hand at the release, pushing it to the right. Over projected the ball. The 1-2-6-10 stands.
A lot to cover. 1-2-6-10, and unfortunately for Alec, a chop. Can't get it done that time. For over 20 years, Carl Nicolai worked tirelessly as a volunteer for the collegiate bowling community. Carl was the founder and creator of the collegebowling.com website, which provided the rankings and stats for collegiate bowling for 20 plus years, including the stats for today's telecast. We wish Carl the best in his retirement and thank him for all of his years of dedication. A 48-pin lead for Pete Burgos from Calumet College of St. Joseph, just outside Chicago, bidding for the 2021 ISC National Championship in men's singles. 8th frame, works on a spare. Right lane for Pete. Got it.
Fantastic execution with that shot. Finding his pace again, finding his comfort level. Knowing he's just a few frames away. .187 max score. As long as Petey stays clean these next 3 frames, be graduating in the Crimson Wave Calumet as a national champion.
How about that? No, Keplinger, great bowler in his own right, had his shot after strikes in the 5th and 6th, but opens back-to-back really did him in. 3-6-10 here for Pete. Pete told us yesterday when he went to Calumet for the first time, coming from the Orlando area, which, as we all know, is a big city. Calumet near Chicago, but small enrollment, 800 students there. Just, he loved it. Great feel. He's grown so much, become home for him. And Kelly, he's about to bring home a national championship to his school. Pretty amazing moment. Guy's been through a lot off the lanes.
He just needs a couple count in the 10th frame. Alec wondering what his strategy was going to work by staying to the right. Just unsure. Again, 10 frames, one game. But the good thing is, only being a sophomore, Dave, how many times have we seen collegiate finals come back and win a victory?
Do more great things. Tremendous bowler. Big fan of Wes Malott, he told us yesterday growing up. As we mentioned, Packy Hanrahan and Francois Lavoie are around the Shocker program. So a lot more development and great things to come from this guy, to be sure. It's his birthday this month and his little brother's birthday. Little Jameson turns 2 this month. That's pretty cool. Trip 2 this time. A little off target, but he'll take that break. Finish up in style here if you're Alec.
It really was, Dave. You know, the low scoring match. Again, a lane pattern on a difficulty of 1 to 10. It was about a 9.5. The ratio of oil was 1.64 to 1. Doesn't allow for a lot of miss room. Again, it's like threading a needle. It really is.
We asked Alec yesterday, where do you see yourself in 10 years? He said winning PBA titles. He's very confident about getting out there and competing on the national tour.
That's a stat for Carl Nicolai and for anyone at Wichita. Should come back with how many alumni and how many titles they held together.
Man, there's a lot. But the man of the moment is that guy, Pete Burgos from Calumet College of St. Joseph. He has won the 2021 ISC Men's Singles Championship. He's a national champion in Wyoming, Michigan here today. Congrats to Pete. He's got the trophy. He's got the title, a national champion.
Final championship match, Pete Vergas 205 over Alec Kemplinger 167. Petey Vergos, you are riding the Crimson Wave. What does it mean winning the Intercollegiate Singles Men's Championships?
That all the hard work and dedication paid off for this very moment right now. It took 4 long years to get it, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm a national champion now under Calumet College, who has built me for this moment. My teammates, my coaches, Randy Peterson, my dad, everyone. This is because of them. I wouldn't be here without any of them, and I'm so thankful. I love you all. Storm Turbo Coolwick, I wouldn't be here without you guys either, man.
Well, fantastic, Petey. Congratulations. You're going to graduate a senior and a champion, headed back to Florida. Wonderful championship match final with that 205 score. Again, you are now our 2021 Intercollegiate Singles Champions. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for having me.
Come back with us soon. Dave Ryan's going to wrap up this Intercollegiate Singles Championships.
Congratulations go out to Pete Vergos from Calumet College of St. Joseph. He's the winner of the 2021 Intercollegiate Men's Singles Championship. Be sure to join us next Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern for the Intercollegiate Women's